All right, good morning, guys. Going through the Bible in a year with you, different location, two handsome faces. And we're here in New Haven. We're going on a trip today together. And so this one will be shorter today, but just want to touch base with you as we're going through the Bible in a year. One of our reading passages is 2 Chronicles chapter 18, so we'll unpack that together. But Joe, who are you?
Joe Paskowitz. I'm going with Jared. We're going to go to meet with another church planting champion, really, and see if we can't plant some churches in the Northeast together.
That's the way we're spending the bulk of our day today.
Our whole day. We'll be back late.
Yep, we will be back late. And so we're going to focus on this really for the next few months, really trying to encourage guys.
Yeah, that's right.
See what the Spirit is doing in our area, because our area, the heritage of our area is rich.
The heritage in our area is rich, and I did a study recently. I was doing a study for some of these Baptist guys on how many churches they have per person in Calvary Chapel churches, which brings something to the table. There's in Connecticut, there's one for like every million people, so we got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, we do have some work to do. And so we're going to go encourage some guys, try to connect. Unity takes intention, so we're just going to try to be intentional and follow the Spirit where we think He's leading, and we'll see what happens. So 2 Chronicles 18, make sure you read it today. 2 Chronicles 17, 2 Chronicles 18, and then you're in the Psalm somewhere, Psalm 120, something like that. So make sure you read them. But I'm
looking forward to what you're going to say here. This is a difficult passage.
It is a difficult passage.
So go ahead. I want to learn something this morning.
We were talking before, and he gave me all the answers. So any wisdom that comes out of here is coming from Joe. It's not coming from me. So it's a crazy passage. And basically, King Jehoshaphat, who's the king of Judah, at this point, Israel's split. So you have Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel, the northern kingdom. Most of the tribes are in Israel. King Jehoshaphat is the leader of the Judah, the southern kingdom. Then you have King Ahab, the leader of the other nations in Israel. They're aligned. They're Hebrews. There's also a marriage alliance. King Jehoshaphat is one of the rare good kings, and he's doing a good job leading the nation. It says he followed in the ways of David. He did a great job. And it also says that he did so well that the fear of the Lord struck everybody around, so they didn't want to go to war with him. So what a testament to how good he was doing. And Ahab, the leader of the other side of Israel, said, hey, listen, come to war with me. Come help me out. And Jehoshaphat said, all right, I'll go with you, but just seek the Lord. And Ahab said, okay, fair enough. So he calls up 400 prophets. And these 400 prophets, I put in quotations, they all come before Ahab and they say, hey, listen, you should go to war. You're going to win. And Jehoshaphat said, all right, well, is there anybody else to ask? And Ahab says something very interesting, which we laughed about ahead of time. Ahab says, well, there is this one other guy, Micaiah. He's a prophet of the Lord. It's interesting. He acknowledges that. And he says, yeah, but he never says anything nice about me. So I don't even meet with him anymore. Which is obviously funny and also very concerning. Ahab knows who the real deal is when it comes to a word from the Lord, but he doesn't want to hear it because it's just going to interfere with the way he wants to live life. So, Micaiah, they call him up under Jehoshaphat's kind of prompting. And Micaiah says, yeah, you should go. You're going to win. He just parrots what the other 400 quote-unquote prophets had said. And Ahab says, what? You never have anything good to say. And Micaiah says, well, you don't ever want to hear what I have to say. And he says, no, tell me. So Micaiah says, well, actually, I heard from the Lord and I asked, and you're going to lose. You shouldn't go. It's going to be a disaster. You'll be scattered everywhere, and you shouldn't do it. And actually, the Lord also told me that God had allowed a deceiving spirit to go into the false prophets of Ahab and convince them that they're going to win, so that way Ahab is destroyed. Ahab's army is destroyed. Why would God do that? Long story short, Ahab is not following the Lord well. He's not leading the people well. And the Lord is not pleased with his leadership. And the Lord wants to change that up. And he is allowing a deceiving spirit to come in and reroute Israel in their current trajectory. And so there's more there. Unpack that later. God, deceiving spirits, he allowed that. Interesting. So maybe 2 takeaways that could be helpful. Number 1 is try not to be like Ahab. I'm speaking to myself here. Jared, try not to be like Ahab, right? Joe, try not to be like Ahab. Oftentimes, God is saying and directing us in certain ways. We might know pretty clearly it's the Lord. Even if we don't have all the reasons, it might just feel really appropriate and right that it's God speaking. But if we're so in love with our pride and our plans and what we want, we'll find ways to justify going another direction. And so hopefully we can get some good people around us. That helps a lot. But
good people might not tell you what you want to hear.
That's exactly right. If you have just yes people around you, just because they're saying yes doesn't mean they're from the Lord.
That's right.
And just because it's something you want to hear, it doesn't mean it's not the Lord. And just the opposite is true too. If we're hearing some really challenging and difficult things, that doesn't mean it's not from the Lord. And it doesn't mean even people are being mean. Maybe they're not being nice in the way that they're saying it, but it doesn't mean it's not true. So hopefully we're humble enough to receive a word from the Lord, even if it's something that we don't like. Don't be like an Ahab. Try to be, second point of encouragement, try to be like a Micaiah. He was recognized and known from the Lord. I think the Bible doesn't say, but probably because he didn't live much of a life of compromise. He didn't fall in line with the other 400. He had enough courage to try and walk with the Lord as closely as he could. And I believe, and I think Joe as well, and believers have known through the years, if you walk really closely to the Lord and you immerse yourself in his word and try to be as faithful as you can, being around his truth has a real insulating effect. You're able to identify the counterfeit much easier. And so I remember Frankie actually sharing in church a long time ago. He was talking about counterfeit money. He said one of the best ways that people can tell a fake $100 bill from a real one is the people that spend so much time with the real $100 bill. It's very easy to tell a counterfeit. And so if we're with the genuine, the authentic, and hearing his voice each day, it makes us much less susceptible to deceiving spirits, deceiving voices, even our own. So check out that passage today, 2 Chronicles chapter 18. Be encouraged that God's word is true. The Good Shepherd is speaking. Hopefully we're listening and paying attention. And try not to be an Ahab. And try to get around people that aren't a bunch of Ahabs. We need more Micaiahs to stand up. So God bless you guys. I hope you have a good day. And God willing, we'll be together again on Thursday.
Good word.
Thanks.